Our channel is pleased to bring to you the latest, shocking and dramatic episodes from the TV series Beyond the Gates. In tonight's episode, the secrets that have been buried for years are finally revealed, bringing an unexpected turning point to the lives of the main characters. In particular, viewers who have followed Kat's journey will not be able to sit still when the truth about Leslie is brought to light. On a seemingly normal morning in a gloomy mansion filled with a dark past, Ted wakes up with a lingering feeling of unease in his heart. After many days of secretly investigating and discreetly collecting samples, he finally receives the DNA test results that he secretly requested from a private lab. The thick envelope with the red seal catches his eye like a warning. Inside it is the truth that he has long suspected but has never dared to face. All this time, Kat had believed that everything around her was true, that the people closest to her were trustworthy. That Leslie, her childhood friend, was the only one who stood by her amid waves of doubt and chaos. But the truth was that Leslie had been hiding a terrible secret. A truth that was enough to completely destroy every relationship, every trust and every beautiful memory Kat had ever had. The DNA results were not only scientific evidence, but also a cold knife that cut deep into the fragile trust between people trapped in a maze of lies. Ted held the paper with trembling hands, sweat pouring down his forehead when he realized that the blood in the hair sample did not match any of the genetic data belonging to Kat's family. This meant that part of the story Kat had been told all this time was false. And Leslie was the final link in this long tragedy. With a heavy heart and legs like stone, Ted walked towards where Kat was sitting, the sunlight through the window shining on her face, still innocent, still trusting, still unaware that everything would change in just a few seconds. When Ted handed Kat the results, in that moment, time seemed to stop. Kat's eyes quickly scanned each word, each line of cold information on the white paper. The expression on her face changed from wonder to surprise to shock. She seemed to no longer hear the sounds around her. The chirping of birds in the morning suddenly became unfamiliar. The surrounding air seemed to be sucked dry. She read and reread, trying to find some mistake, but all the information was clear, coherent, undeniable. Leslie, the person who appeared in her life with a gentle smile and unconditional caring gestures, was actually the one who had set it all up. In the past, when Kat's family had an accident and she had to leave her childhood home, Leslie was the only one left in town. During that time, Leslie planned to replace Kat in some important papers, manipulated the records, created a different version of the past and gradually pushed Kat out of her real life without anyone knowing. Taking advantage of Kat's absence, Leslie infiltrated the trust of everyone, including Kat's family members, even changing the DNA data to erase the traces. But Ted, with his sharp intuition and sincere feelings for Kat, always felt that something was wrong. Leslie's unusual appearances, her words with many hidden meanings, her over-the-top reactions when mentioning a past event, all of these made Ted silently question and decide to take action. When the truth came to light, Kat's memories began to be disturbed. She remembers the sleepless nights, the times she felt like she didn't belong, the moments when she thought the world had turned its back on her. It turns out it wasn't all by accident. Leslie had always been there, behind the curtain, pulling the strings like a master puppeteer. The acts of kindness, the thoughtful advice now became evidence of a cold, calculating plan. Kat no longer recognized the world around her. She had been betrayed by the person she trusted most, caught in a game of power and control that she had been the victim of for years. Ted, now Kat's only support, decided to stop at exposing the truth. He began to expand his investigation, following the financial trail, uncovering secret transfers, searching for people who had worked with Leslie in the past. He discovers that Leslie has not only deceived Kat but also manipulated many others in the community to expand his influence. Leslie has built a network of loyalists who think they are working for a noble cause, but are actually serving her greed and desire for absolute control. As Ted digs deeper, he discovers more sinister layers to the plan. Leslie wants not only to replace Kat, but also to seize her entire legacy, from assets to relationships, from memories to reputation. She has forged a series of legal documents, manipulated some employees in the local administrative system, and even used threats to silence those who might reveal the truth. With each page of the file turned, with each statement verified, the darkness in Kat's soul grows thicker. Hurt turns to anger, and from anger to determination to demand justice. But Leslie does not fall easily. When she feels the truth is approaching, she begins to fight back. The evidence Ted has collected begins to mysteriously disappear. A key witness suddenly gets into an accident. The server containing the test data is hacked. Ted is almost murdered in a sophisticatedly staged car accident. The closer he gets to the truth, the closer the danger becomes. But with an unshakable trust in Kat, Ted does not falter. He contacts higher-level law enforcement agencies and enlists independent investigators to protect the evidence and get to the root of the problem. Kat, a traumatized woman, gradually becomes a spiritual leader for other victims who were manipulated by Leslie. She begins to share her story, receiving support from the community and legal organizations. She realizes that she is not the only victim, but the voice representing many others caught in Leslie's web of lies. Meanwhile, Leslie, exposed, remained entrenched in her illusion of control. She denied the allegations, claiming they were misunderstandings or Kat's jealousy. But a recording was discovered, a conversation between Leslie and one of her close aides, that shattered all pretense. Her voice rang out clearly and sharply, revealing her step-by-step plan to usurp Kat's identity. When the recording was played at the first hearing, the entire courtroom fell silent. It was the moment when Kat, after so much pain, was finally released from the shadows. The trial lasted months, with tense hearings, conflicting evidence, and seemingly endless legal battles. But in the end, justice was served. Leslie was convicted of a variety of serious crimes: identity theft, data manipulation, financial fraud, witness intimidation, and attempted murder. She was sentenced to a long prison term and all her assets were confiscated. Kat reclaimed her true identity and began a new chapter in her life, a chapter of rebirth from ruin. A chapter of freedom after days of imprisonment in a web of lies. Stay tuned and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next shocking episodes of Beyond the Gates, where all secrets will be exposed.